We hit 8:30. It is time for our high beam this morning, and we are welcoming in and privileged to have the athletic director and head golf coach at Kent State Tuscarawas, and that is Rob Brindley. Rob, how you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, Brad. Doing fine. On the heels of our men's basketball team playing in a national tournament, and finally it's golf season. But of course, it doesn't look like it outside the last few days, that's for sure.
It will this afternoon, but then I think we're afraid we're going to lose it again for a little while. But that's all right. So tell me about the Golden Eagles basketball team. I mean, there's been one for a while, but now it's a little more, focused in on NCAA, and you made the tournament and won a game.
Yeah, it's very exciting because we've joined the United States Collegiate Athletic Association. This is only our fifth year in membership. And the first year, we hired a coach 2 days before the first game. And we lost about every game that year. I laugh now because it seems like such a long time ago, by 40 and 50 points. And then fast forward, we're a 20-game winner this year, make the national tournament, win a first-round game over a team that the USCA seeded in front of us. So we had a real chip on our shoulder, and we went down there and didn't let it become an anchor or a boulder, if you will, and we built a 29-point lead and won a first-round game. So the reward for that was to play the number one seed the next day, of course. And but with 26 seconds to go in that game, we were tied and we lost by 5. So
right.
I think the guys acquitted themselves very well.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're losing to a number one it was expected in a way, but when you're competing, it doesn't matter what seed it is, whether you're playing the 50th seed or the one. If you're competing, you're doing a good job. But what a turnaround from the 4 or 5 years, right?
Yeah, we had who we had in the building that first year because the former coach didn't bring any recruits, so it was kind of like a high school. You get who you have enrolled in your school. So 3 years later, we won 5 games, and then we've just made a huge leap forward. Our reward, by the way, for playing the number one team ranked in the country was to play the number 2 the next day because they got upset in the first round.
Ooh.
Well, we had to play them, so we played 3 days in a row, but we only lost to 5 points to them as well. So again, the guys are, they just really responded well.
What are the qualifications as the USCA? I know it's small college association, but what do the numbers have to be in that?
Yeah, and they're talking. Well, it's kind of funny because there's 2 divisions, and in Division 1, that's a scholarship division, which we're not a scholarship division school. We can't give athletic scholarships as a regional campus in the state of Ohio. But teams like Bluefield State University, which is in West Virginia, that's an NCAA Division II team. And they are in a lot of teams, they have cross memberships, if you will.
Yeah.
And the reason they do that is because if they can't make the tournament at the NCAA 2 level, they can still hopefully qualify for the postseason and the USCA level. So typically the schools, Brad, are smaller than 4,000.
All right, so that's where we're at.
Yeah, we have 1,600 this year. We've been as high as 2,300, so we fit right in that slot.
Mm-hmm. You think the post-COVID numbers will bring us back toward 2,300 sometime?
Yeah, I think we'll see a huge jump back because schools, offered online classes, and I really don't think the students in high schools or college appreciated that very much, even though it was just a necessary evil, if you will, for the times, with COVID. So Kent State University has made the move that every class that was in person before COVID will be back in person for fall 22. So we're going to see our enrollment jump back up.
Yeah, that is good. Tell us about some other sports because I know things have been really building over the past few years on every level. So what's some of the good news you can tell us?
Well, I tell you, it's so exciting to be, at Kent State Tuscarawas because, we have a lot of young men, young ladies choosing us and coming from all over the map. We've had them from Texas and Florida and North Carolina and Chicago to build. They just want to play, and we can't give athletic scholarships. So why are they coming to us, right? Mm-hmm. Because they want to be competitive. But golf over the last 5 years, we have 5 top 10 finishes in the national championship. And that is at Penn State University in State College, Pennsylvania. We play in the same course that the Big Ten teams do. Mm-hmm. And last year we finished 5th. And Nick Reeder, one of our golfers who's from Marysville, Ohio, he was second-team All-American. He shot a round of 72, even par the first day, and shot 74 the second day. So we've had good success there. Cross country has finished in the top 5. We're building a volleyball program, and we're jump-starting a women's program this year. And, we got 9 new recruits coming in for volleyball alone so far. I say that because we're trying to fill a roster of 15. We want to have fun, but, we want to compete for that national championship. I'll go back and throw it back to our men's basketball team. There was only one guy on our men's basketball team who even played in a sectional championship last year.
Wow.
Only one. Imagine that. Most of these guys came from programs that were not very successful in high school, but Coach Tharp has done a great job. He was nominated for USCA Division II Coach of the Year. He did not win the award, was runner-up, but that he has really put together quite a team, and he's building pieces and putting guys together who fit his schemes, his offensive and defensive schemes, and he's just had great success. And I think that has happened to all our teams, baseball, softball as well. Coach Jarvis and Coach Peach, they're trying to build winners, and they're bringing in student athletes first. They're looking at GPAs, those kind of things, because if you can't be a student in the classroom, you're not going to help us much on the field.
Well, that's true. And if you're local, you're not simply recruiting nationwide and forgetting about local, because that still can be a nice core, can't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and Braden Rostad was a very important part of our men's basketball team this year. He's about 6'1", 6'2", but sometimes on the floor out there, it seems like he's like 6'7". He's got a big body, and he's a really strong kid. Those guys are important, but he can step away and shoot the three as well. But we look for those local players, and we're getting some interest, and which is exciting. But everybody seems like they want to go away to school. That's our issue that we compete against every day.
So the people that want to go away from school that aren't from here are coming here. So,
yeah. Isn't that funny?
A little bit, I guess. But could this also be, and I don't want to use like a stepping stone, but can this be a starting point for somebody who thinks maybe they could play at a Division I or II level, but they need to get their academic life together and stay closer to home and compete while they're hoping for that?
Oh, definitely. You can prove, then you can get the grades in college, and then then you can move on to a bigger school. We actually have a young man, though, that might be coming to us from Medina, and he has a .2 handicap in golf. That's nearly a scratch golfer.
Yeah.
He hasn't been recruited by many Division I schools, even though he's had a couple offers. He didn't like those schools when he visited them, so he said, I just want to go to a smaller school. So he called us. His dad used to play football for Kent back in the early 80s, and he would like to try out for the Kent campus team. And John Mills, the coach at the Kent campus, says, you go to the regional campus and you get a year under your belt, and, we can see if we can have you try out the next year. So, definitely they can use it as a stepping stone. We'd like to keep him here for all 4 years. But, of course, if they're not happy or they've got the talent to move on, we would let them go with our blessing.
Well, that's a feather in your cap in either way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it's good because, I think people, want the experience, like, say, to go to a bigger school, but, are you checking yourself in reality? Is that a possibility?
Mm-hmm.
And I know all you can ask for is an opportunity, and that's basically what Coach Mills is promising to Nick Fartelli, that he's going to give him an opportunity to see if he can compete.
Well, meanwhile, you're in good shape.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, we're doing really good. I've got 4 new recruits so far coming in for golf for next fall. I only keep a roster of 8. That gives me 5, so I still have room on my roster. And every one of these young men, and the most local one I have is Cole Eltringham from Meadowbrook High School. And also I got a young man from Massillon. But the other young men are from 3-hour drive still in Ohio, northwestern Ohio. And, it's awesome to talk to coaches because they say, oh, I didn't even know you had a golf program. Or
Yeah.
I didn't even know your school existed. And now all of a sudden people are contacting us. And success breeds that as well, like our men's basketball team. We get notes every day now.
Well, you hear,
coming to our campus.
you hear, so-and-so put you on the map. Well, that national tournament, especially for basketball, I think did that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's immeasurable what it has done because it's created a pride on our campus. And Coach Tharp was talking to his team after they came back, and he said, we're going to have a team meeting. We'll turn in all our equipment that we need to turn in, and then we'll talk about what you need to do for next year. Every player showed up, and guys are in the gym and in the weight room already. And it's exciting to see the fervor at which they're working toward next season, because just to go and win a game was not enough. They're not happy. They want to win the championship.
And I think that winning attitude just is going to usurp the entire campus, as it would on a high school campus.
Oh, yeah. I believe so, too. I think it just is overwhelming. The guys walk down the hallway, and people who they don't even know just recognize them as basketball players, because most of them are taller, of course, in the hallway. And they'll congratulate them. And these guys, the couple of staff members told me that they said congratulations, and they just had the biggest smile and felt so proud. But they're so humble at the same time, like I said, because this is their first time around with the experience of playing on a winning team.
If anybody's interested or needs to know what they need to do to become eligible or something, can they get a hold of you?
Oh, yeah. Feel free to call the athletic department, and the number for that is 330-308-7447. Leave a message if I don't get the phone, because there's 2 phones in this department. Okay. Or they can send me an email, or just go to info.tusk@kent.edu and send us an email. We'll contact you back ASAP.
All right, Rob. Hey, thanks a lot. I know you're getting excited because the weather's getting warmer and it's time to golf, so good luck with that as well.
Hey, Brad, I appreciate your time and appreciate the music this morning, too.
All right.
And I think you ought to play some more Lou Graham.
Well, we'll take a look for that for you. All right. Hey, Rob.
Brad, have a great day, and I appreciate you once again.
You too. Thanks a lot. Rob Brindley, who's the athletic director at Kent State Tuscarawas, here on our 8:30 High Beam on the B Team Morning Show.